G'day friends and foes, RJ here with RJ's This Is Not Legal Advice, episode 112, and this one looks like I've got a cut on my face. It's just the light going through my windscreen, but this one concerns an update to do with the Queensland COVID Directions court case, i.e. my court case that has been before the courts since the 29th of May. Was the original hearing in the Magistrates Court. It was then appealed to the District Court and now is before the Court of Appeal, which is the Supreme Court's Court of Appeal. And I'm just updating people. There have been a few people who have been unfortunately interfering with my fundraising, also, so you know, where they keep getting my GoFundMe shut down, which is freaking ridiculous, putting it nicely, but you know, it should be restored by now. So if you'd like to contribute, that's fine as well. The link, when I copy and paste from my previous Tinler videos, doesn't copy over properly, but I'm just on a phone, so I'll have to fix that up later, or just put it in the description. And that relates to court cases involving this COVID directions, and also just say if I win costs or whatever, then can be applied to other similar court cases to do with legalities of certain actions, interference with political liberty, that kind of thing. It does cost a lot of money to run court cases, even when you are doing them yourself. E.g., a subpoena is, don't remember the figure off the top of my head, but say $150 per subpoena, and then you have filing fees, and there's a whole heap of other fees, as well as currently with the previous district court application that the police officer lodged and was successful in, even though, obviously I'm arguing that it shouldn't have been successful. The argument was that the District Court has no jurisdiction over the Peaceful Assembly Act, and I submit that's wrong. And also, the District Court Act itself says that they have jurisdiction over fraudulent matters, as an example, and that the original application by the police sergeant, I submit, was fraudulent. She stated, among other things, that there was a legally required mediation. There was no such mediation, as just one example, plus also where there's no statutory right to appeal, and really it should mean where it's been banned, appeals to the higher courts. Then you have a thing called the writ of certiorari, or some people pronounce it differently. There's an argument in Latin, do they even have a C sound, or is it certiorari, whatever. But anyway, so tomorrow there is an application by Crown Law, who is representing the state of Queensland as well as the Chief Health Officer, and they are trying to get themselves removed from the court case. I can't get into particular details, when the court case is finally over, and all appeals are exhausted, or the right to appeal, to say if I win in this Supreme Court, then, is the state going to appeal it to the High Court, as an example, or, should I lose, do I appeal it to the High Court, just as another example, in which case the High Court does require leave to appeal to it. There are other ways to get it before this little shadow's annoying. But there are other ways to get the matter to the High Court, such as with the Section 78B notices of the Judiciary Act. Then the Attorneys General can get it removed or sent from the Court of Appeal, Queensland Supreme Court, to the High Court, as an example. But anyway, with all court cases, things can go either way. So they may well be successful, they may not be successful. Perhaps it's a frivolous application by, the second and third respondents. I certainly believe so, but, I'm not the judge and jury. So we'll find out tomorrow what happens with that. If they are successful in being removed from the case, then it will simplify the case against the police sergeant. Yet, as an example, the state is vicariously liable potentially for the tortious behaviours of a police sergeant. Everything has little asterisks next to it, by the way, but, I'm just simplifying things as an example. So, what else? The problem is I can't really say that much, especially before the application, because one, you have a tactical advantage in not saying stuff, but two, also, it does have the potential to affect the actual application. If they aren't removed, if they're not successful in their application, then basically, it proceeds. I also have an application before the court that will be dealt with tomorrow that concerns the ability to adduce fresh evidence. So basically in the magistrate's court and in the district court, I was refused to be able to provide any evidence, any substantive part of the case. And part of my application tomorrow is to do that, as well as I do have an injunction as part of the application to try to make myself legally, what do you call that, the best way to put it, basically to put a stay on any kind of mandatory vaccination for myself, pending the outcome of the trial. So just say if, on December 25th, the government comes out with the vaccine and says, hey, it's mandatory, or it is close enough to being mandatory, then I may well be exempt from that. And that is pending the actual proper hearing, which at this stage is for the 24th of March. And again, that may well change slightly if my application to adduce further evidence is successful, because then, then I get expert witnesses and a lot of information to provide to the court, and therefore it shouldn't be a one-day hearing anymore unless, the parties can agree to a very limited amount of things or issues in dispute. So I'll probably leave it there. Please like, share, subscribe. As I said in the start of the video, there have been I've got my first question that I'll answer in a second, but there have been jerks interfering with my fundraising for this legal case. So Jimmy, who likes defaming me, asks, what degree of education do you have to be able to quote law? The answer to that is I have a Juris Doctorate, which I'm sure you don't have, Jimmy. My guess is you're a failed politician and upset because nobody wanted to vote for you. So Jimmy just defamed me again. So I do have a Juris Doctorate. Maybe you want to Google what that is, Jimmy. And anyway, so to, I guess, get around the jerks who keep getting my GoFundMe shut down, or if you want to do a private donation to me, then you can also do that at PayPal. So it's paypal.me/ is it RJ Martin or Vote RJ? I'll have to look that up and put it in the in the comments. So Jimmy says he lives in a house and not in a car. So again, he defames me that I apparently live in my car. Because Jimmy and Co, so you have Lucky Lance as an example, Lance Lee Simon, who, he has a group or two groups or a page in a group on Facebook called Calling Out All Scammers, and they apparently like picking on people that are homeless, like Peter Little, which is rather pathetic, but, Jimmy just buggered off apparently, because the little icon disappeared. Anyway, so I hope you all have a lovely day. Hopefully I give an update tomorrow as to what happens in applications tomorrow, and I hope you're all well. Cheerio. Bye.